Hello, welcome to the channel. Today is November 21, 2022. It's Monday, first day of the week. Happy Thanksgiving. Take a look at the daily charts and see where things are at. I'm going to start with the ES futures. It's after 5 o'clock, so they are closed. Pretty well still going sideways, although it did close lower than Friday's close. We're down 16. Pretty well stuck, going nowhere. Trying to figure out what's next. Holiday week, volumes could be low, could be very volatile. Could sit there and do nothing. Only time will tell. SPY, pretty well dead flat on the day, down $1.44. So we'll have to keep an eye on that tomorrow. SPX, same story. Got the Dow Jones futures, pretty well flat, stuck in that same range. Everyone's still hoping the Fed's going to pivot, waiting for any kind of signal. Retail side of Dow Jones, obviously doing the same thing. And the NASDAQ, a little bit more to the downside, a little more commitment with all the big layoffs being talked about in tech. We'll have to see how that plays out, but for the time being, it's a very tight range. Obviously, same story for the triple Qs. Russell still going sideways. We'll be watching the Russell for any kind of leading indication as to what the NASDAQ and the Qs will want to do. UVXY, sitting on the bottoms, not scared at all. The VIX kind of hates the dull market, hates sideways movement. It's not really scared. Not a whole lot going on here. The XLB, based on last week's housing numbers, looking a little bit more optimistic. Real estate looking a little bit more optimistic. Utilities kind of looking optimistic here. TLT going sideways for the last 4 days. Gold and GLD had a little bit of a run up. Got some people charged up about it. We'll just have to see if that's going to go anywhere. Right at the moment, not yet. All right, so we have the XLC for the communications. We'll be looking at Meta, Google, Netflix, EA. We only watch the best of the best, the top leaders in each segment. Less likely to be manipulated. So we got XLC pretty well sideways, but red. Meta lower on the day also. After the run up, it's got a little bit of room to pull back here a little bit if it wants to. Going to be pretty much the same story with everybody here. Got Google. Looks like it could be headed back down to some lower levels here. T-Mobile looking a little bit more optimistic. Netflix, after a run up, is kind of grinding its way back down. We'll just have to see how that goes along with Disney. Yeah, EA, Electronic Arts, pretty much into the chop zone, no real commitment. Yeah, consumer discretionary. So in this one, we'll be looking at Tesla, Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, and Starbucks. Tesla came out with the recall announcement, as well as Apparently they have some more concerns with COVID in China. Not looking real optimistic. If we're watching the levels real close here, we're really looking at 160, and it's a ways down before we hit any more support here. Amazon, not ready to take over the world yet. Home Depot looking a little bit more optimistic. And Lowe's, not so much, just sitting there going sideways. Starbucks, looking a little optimistic here. Took out both sides of the day, so we'll have to see what it does tomorrow to give any follow through or see if it reverses. Got the consumer staples. In here, we're going to be looking at P&G, Walmart, Pepsi, Costco, and obviously these are your core go-tos when things are looking a little dicey here. So got Procter and Gamble looking pretty good, looking pretty optimistic, pretty close to the highs really. Walmart, last week we had a bunch of analysts bumping their price targets up. So far the buyers are holding it up there. Pepsi sitting on all-time highs of 185.13, closed at 184.82. Have to see if that holds. Costco pretty well going sideways. The yellow would indicate still inside the range, failed to take out the highs or the lows of the previous day. A little bit of drama in oil today, dropped down to just above 75, closed at 80.25. Looks like we had some pretty good volume here too, so we could be looking at some recovery in oil prices here. See if it can start working its way back up there. USO would obviously complement the sweet crude futures. Energy tried selling off today, but on heavy volume, pretty well looks like it was stopping everybody out. See if they are going to run that back up here. So Chevron could be a reversal. They go back to the highs here. We'll have to watch that for some follow through in energy. ExxonMobil looks like it's trying to do a reversal here also after grinding down a little bit. EOG Resources engulfing, but closed higher on the day than the open. So we'll see kind of the code here for the energy. ConocoPhillips, same thing. Closed lower on the day, but it did close higher than the open. We'll have to see if that can develop anything there tomorrow. And the XLF for the banks, we'll be looking at JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citigroup. It's an inside day overall for the banks. Failure to take out either side of Friday. Still hovering around recent highs, so we'll see if it can grow any legs tomorrow. JP Morgan sideways. Bank of America sideways. Wells Fargo looking a little bit more optimistic here, higher than Friday's close, higher than Friday's range altogether. Citigroup, inside day, failure to take out the highs or the lows of Friday. And let's see, healthcare. In healthcare, we'll be looking at J&J, United Healthcare, Merck, Pfizer, and those are our four here. Healthcare is still sitting at the highs. J&J sitting there going sideways. United Health Group selling off here a little bit. See if that can give any follow through for tomorrow. Merck sitting on the highs. Pfizer trying to do a reversal here. The XLI for the industrials in here, we'll be looking at CAT, John Deere, Boeing, UPS, Triple M, United Steel, Honeywell, Union Pacific, Dow Chemical. Caterpillar trying to hold on there. Deere pretty well sideways, but not doing anything too dramatic just yet. And Boeing 172.94, which has been a heck of a recovery from the recent lows. We'll see if it can hang on to it or if it's going to trend back down here. But for the time being, it's sideways. UPS looking a little bit more optimistic for the Christmas season. Got the 3M company inside day doing nothing. US Steel looking pretty optimistic here. About to see what it does tomorrow. It was a pretty good sized move for them today, up 3.78%. Honeywell, inside day. Union Pacific, outside day. About to see what happens there tomorrow. See if it gets stuck inside the range or see if it can expand the range there a little bit. Dow Incorporated, same story as Union Pacific, outside day. See if it can start grinding its way up to the highs. If the DXY can go down a little bit, that might get some wheels on it. XLK seems to be most of the drama lately. XLK down on the day, closed at 130.67. SMH for the semiconductors, same story, down on the day. Microsoft tried to run up, fairly light volume, closed up on the day 83 cents. The wick on top's not looking real bullish there. Apple closed at 148.01, looking pretty weak there. It was on light volume, so we'll have to see how that plays out tomorrow. See if it can give any follow through to get down around 146, and then we'll have to see what it does from there if it can get that low. Yeah, Visa 206.32 on the close. About the same story, sold off pretty well. We'll have to see if it can give any kind of follow through or if it gets stuck inside that range tomorrow. AMD closed green on the day, 72.46. Kind of a tight range today. We'll have to see if that can give any kind of follow through to the upside tomorrow. Intel not looking so optimistic. Had a pretty good run up last week, and we'll have to see what it does. See if it can give any follow through to the downside. You got support real quick. Looks like 27 may hit 28.5, 27.5. If it gets real nasty, it could probably get down close to 26.40. Taiwan Semiconductor, it's pretty well going sideways considering all the drama they've got going on over there. That's pretty good after that run up. Cisco tried to break above and turn tail, closed lower on the day, closed at 47.62. We'll have to see if that can give any downside follow through tomorrow. NVIDIA tried closing green on the day after going below Friday's range. I'll have to keep an eye on that, see if things want to get bullish tomorrow. That could give some nice follow through. There's plenty of room for it to go up if it wants to. Adobe not looking so optimistic. Closed at 321.49. Looks like we could get down to, we got 318.57. And if that doesn't hold, you got a pretty good gap to fill there. Could be something there. If things are bearish tomorrow, that might be worth keeping an eye on. Take a quick look at the financials. We got the 10-year Treasury green on the day, closed at 38.25. Got the 30-year at 39.05 inside day. The DXY, always keep an eye on that. As goes the DXY will influence the price of the equities. So right now on the day we got a 107.812. And there's plenty of room for it to go back up if they want to. Dollar's been pretty strong, sold off lately, but it's still pretty strong on the year. A lot of talk about silver, although the price doesn't support it. Ran up pretty good last week. Last 3 days going pretty well sideways. We'll have to see off of 19.2, 1920, see if that can get any fall through to the upside tomorrow. And then we watch the 2-year. 2 years still pretty bullish. It's probably not real optimistic for the equities, but we'll have to see what they do. See if they can ignore it. Some of these bear market rallies have been pretty good. And we got Mobileye. Mobileye not doing a whole lot. Don't really trade this one too much. We just kind of keep an eye on it because it's a new issue. Pretty well range bound so far. Closed at 27.22, taking out the highs and the lows on Friday. Closing to the red side. See if that follows through just for fun. Might go down to take out the lows here. We'll have to see what happens. So that's all we got. Those are the stocks we watch. Those are the stocks we always watch day in and day out. They are less manipulated due to large trading rooms or any other influence. We watch the top names in the S&P and trade accordingly. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully I can give you some better videos moving forward. Thanks.